YK Quick Tips episode number 10, Raven Mad Days, will start any second now. You're listening to YK Quick Tips, your guide to Yellowknife. Brought to you by withmedia.ca, a truly northern podcast network. And ykonline.ca, a hyperlocal blog all about Yellowknife. Hi and hello. Welcome back to another episode of YK Quick Tips, like I just said in the intro. My name is Kyle With, and we were away there for 2 weeks. We just had missed a week, but we're back, and we will be back for weekly episodes until I leave again for some forsaken reason that I can't be here. But let's get on with this episode, shall we? This episode is about an event that has currently just passed. As the date of publication of this episode has passed, the event was last week, and that event is, of course, Raven Mad Days. Now, it is different this year, being 2010, but I want to talk about how it was when I was a kid and what I remember from Raven Mad Days and my experiences with it and what it was and how it slowly died off and how it's been resurrected again this year. So way back when I was just a wee lad of would have been my first Raven Mad Days. My first conscious Raven Mad Days would have been about when I was maybe 11 or 12. And from my perspective, that was when they did the head shaving for cancer. Now, I never did the head shaving, but I went around door to door raising money, and what I did was I dyed my hair like bright blue, and my brother might have done his bright pink. So I wasn't quite willing to shave my head bald for cancer, but I was willing to dye it a bright neon color and go that way. But anyway, that led up to Raven Mad Day. So the big event, I would go up on a stage and people would be watching, like the street would be packed. So let's talk about what it was. They would close off Franklin Avenue in the downtown core. Ooh, my phone. The downtown core from Northwest Hotel building all the way down to the Jan Sterling building. And it would just be packed with people. The event would go from 6 p.m., so an hour after basically everybody else got off work, to midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And on the street would be street vendors, there would be games, there would be just a whole lot of entertainments. And so let's just kind of go through some of the things that I remember that were there. For the kids, I remember like judo, you know, those sumo wrestler suits that you can wear, those big giant things. I remember games like that. And then there was the knock your opponent off a pole. As well, I remember that Shoppers Drug Mart, which was part of the Life brand or something at that point, had a giant blow-up maze tunnel thing for kids, for the younger kids to play. And then that was just great. That took up almost a block itself off of Franklin there, which was nice. So moving on to like food, like you had the normal food vendors that we have today in Yellowknife, the fry guy, the sausage guy, and you had like international cuisine, barbecue going on. One thing I remember was the elephant ears or beaver tails or whatever you want to call it, the pan-fried, deep-fried dough mixed in with the cinnamon and sugar. Man, how I miss that stuff. That stuff was good. And going on down further the street, or just what else was going on, there was often a motorcycle show, which was put on by Harley's. Kind of suits the name, Harley's Hard Rock Saloon, Harley Davidson. There, in some of the later years that I remember, was a car show. All the sports cars or the muscle cars would come out and people would shine them on up for the show. There was live entertainment. A lot of bands, either at one end or the other, different mix of stuff that was good for everybody. Lots of coffee going on around there. And I remember the shaving cream pit. Now, a lot of people did not like that. And I know a lot of storefront owners, not going to name any names, who really despise that. And the one day of the year that they would just be miserable. Now, what the shaving pit was the fire department would open up one of the fire hydrants at one end, and it would just be like a sprinkler, like it wasn't very harsh. It was just a sprinkler going off, and people would get shaving cream and it would just mix in and it would go all bubbly, and kids were covered in it, like head to toe. I have an experience. Now, I never did that. I did not like the thought of getting covered in shaving cream. That was for certain. But I remember I got it on my backpack once, and I had gone into a store to get something, and the owner got really mad at me because I had a bit of shaving cream on. And I'm not even exaggerating this to make it sound like I was just a punk teenager and he was just doing his job. I only had a handful on my backpack somehow. That was it. I did not want to go near the stuff. I did not want to touch stuff. But when you're walking through a packed crowd of people on the street, you've got no choice, and they're going to hit you and you're going to get a bit on you. Like, that was just the way it went. But anyway, he got mad. I got kicked out, and it was just not fun. But as the years went on, unfortunately, the event got smaller and smaller. And from my standpoint, from my opinion, I felt that it was less about the community and more about people selling things, people trying to make a quick dollar, or, sale. That was part of it. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but it seemed like it was turning into only that part. There was no more games, no more food, no more entertainment. It was all dying quickly. And at one point, it was only a couple blocks long when it used to be packed. Like, it was sad. And just like any other event that's gone down, it was unfortunate that it went that way. And finally, a couple of years ago, it was just, no, we're calling it off. There's